Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. I was at this game. Arsenal played super well, Mickey. Well choreographed, excellent defensively. Stuart Pearce saying afterwards that he could recognise the champion quality in them this weekend. Can you?
I just think from back to front, I think they've got the right balance. They've signed well. You're always wanting your new centre forward to come into a club and get off to a goal scorer and start. Well, gyokeres has started to do that already, which is obviously a huge bonus. Eze putting in a good performance. Madueke on the right hand side, because there's always been a worry, hasn't there, when Saka's not fit or he's not in the team. Are Arsenal the same football side, and are they the ones that are going to challenge? They're going to go close this season, and I don't just say that in the Premier League. I also think they're going to go close in the Champions League as well. People maybe look at Liverpool as favourites this time around. You can never write off your Barcelonas, your Real Madrids, Bayern Munich's. But I look at what Arsenal have got, and I don't see many teams beating them. The big concern, if I go back to the Liverpool game, is how brave is Mikel Arteta? Because they didn't show any bravery in trying to break Liverpool down on too many occasions. But I think over the last couple of seasons, I might be wrong in this, but their record against the top four or the big four is very good. They haven't lost too many games. But I do agree with the bravery side of things. I think when they go to places like Anfield, I think they've got to try and take a few more risks. And if they can do that, then they're not far away from being the finished article, which pains me to say it, because sometimes when I watch Arsenal, I get frustrated. But they are a fantastic team. I think the signings they've made are very good. And albeit, yes, that was a great performance at the weekend, I think there's going to be times this season where they're going to have to dig in deep. And I think you look at your individual players, and they've got the individual players who can dig in deep and win results.
Erdegaard's shoulder injury, once again, that's a bit of a concern for Mikel Arteta. There's so many options, though, that they've got now in attack. And yes, they have had injuries. Saka is training now, won't be back just yet, but he's on the mend. Nwaneri was excellent. Eze, excellent. Madueke was fantastic in the game. I tell you what, I can't get my head around the fact that Chelsea have sold him to Arsenal. I think it's absolutely calamitous. He's so direct, so unsettling for a defender. I mean, Mickey, you're a left back. You don't want him running at you, do you? I mean, he is scary as hell, isn't he? I mean, he's so talented.
As a fullback, the worst player you want to play against is a player who's just direct, who gets his head down, and you don't know which way he's going to go. I mean, in my era, I probably knew I was playing against a right-footed right winger most of the time. I know football's changed, but Madueke goes either way. And you're right about the directness, Sam. As a fullback, you want somebody to get close to you. You want to hold them up as much as you can. And as soon as they lay that ball off, it's relief. You're like, wow, I've done my job. It's up to somebody else to go and do their jobs now. But I think his form's been absolutely fantastic for his country and for club as well. Speculation, I know there was a lot of controversy, wasn't there, when he signed for Arsenal? But I just thought he was a wonderful signing. And there's going to be times he might have to play on the left-hand side as well, but he can do it because
Yeah.
he's got that pace as well. But his performances have been superb so far.
Yeah, and he silenced the critics, as you say, because there was a few sort of social media bits of backlash when he was rumoured to be becoming an Arsenal player, but they're all singing his name in the Emirates Stadium on Saturday lunchtime. Now, Crook and I have been having a little discussion this morning before we come on air. We're in a Premier League, Fantasy League group. In fact, we're in quite a couple, actually. We've got a draft league and a conventional league,
And
of
last
which
man
I am above him in both.
You still in that?
No,
Yeah.
maybe not. But I am above him in both of the fantasy leagues. And the first thing he said to me was, it's too early for rushing to judgment, even though he's rushed to judgment on Amorim and Manchester United already. So let's rush to judgment on the striker situation, because we haven't seen Isak yet. We haven't seen the best of Šeško yet. But Victor Gyokeres, who was acquired this summer, and out of the three big new signings that everyone was discussing striker-wise at the beginning of the campaign, he has scored goals. And afterwards, I spoke to Mikel Arteta, and he said, yeah, we're starting to find him a lot better now. I did tip him to be top goal scorer. I don't want to say anything. You know, he's probably not going to beat Haaland, but he might come close there. You never know. Crook's already ready to have a go at me.
I think what's interesting is the point that Mickey made earlier about how ambitious Mikel Arteta is going to be, particularly away from home against the top sides, because he was anonymous at Old Trafford. I thought De Ligt did a really good job on Gyokeres there, and it was the same at Anfield when Canate had him in his pocket and he didn't really get any service. I think this game against Manchester City at home is fascinating. Gyokeres versus Haaland, obviously the battle of the two Scandinavians, and to see if Arteta is going to take the shackles off and try and make a statement, because I know City are coming into it on the back of a brilliant win in the derby. I still think there's every chance that Arsenal could pick up 3 points here, and that would be a notable scalp. So I think, in answer to your Golden Boot question, Gyokeres is going to get a lot of goals. I think they're going to tend to be against the lesser sides, but that's going to be enough to take him close.
It wasn't a golden boot question, actually. I said, was he going to be the best performer out of Isaac and Sesko? And I think you never know. There's a
He's
possibility,
got a
and he
head
will get
start,
goals.
hasn't he? He's got a head
He
start
has
on
got a head
Isak
start.
for the reasons we've said. And I mean, Sheshko. Yeah, he's going to outscore Sheshko because he's going to get more chances.
Angie's back. Crook's delighted about that. And actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I went to see him after the
Oh, it was a
the full time
loving. You were his
whistle.
best mate. Obviously, it was sickening.
What do you mean? I didn't start it. He
Oh,
started it.
lovely to see you, Ange.
I think he that's not exactly how it went, but anyway. But he started. I asked him a question, saying, are you pleased that you've got more players? You've got you've got a lot big squad now to deal with. Are you pleased about that? And he just looked at me and he went, Sam, you were with me at Tottenham. You know how difficult it was for me there. So, of course, I'm delighted about it. Yeah, it was a good conversation. I thought he was in good form. I
I
think the
enjoyed
club
it.
suits him a little bit better.
I enjoyed
I
it.
think the club suits him a little bit. I think he's more suited to Forest than he was to Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of pressure, a lot of eyes at Tottenham Hotspur. At Forest, there's pressure, obviously, but I don't know, it feels that it could be a better fit. Arsenal face Athletic Club away on Tuesday night, live on talkSPORT before the City game, that is. So they've got two big tests this week. Athletic Club beaten at home by Alaves at the weekend. Maybe they had one eye on that Arsenal fixture. That after starting with 3 consecutive wins and getting maximum points in La Liga.